That's right!
The reason I think there's so much more support is the amount of minorities here compared to Gloversville. And I think that really does make a difference into the people that are supporting it. Now, with that being said, coming out here and seeing the amount of support that we had really brought light to the amount of support that we don't have in Gloversville. I'm not begging nobody to be a part of something that they don't want to be a part of, but if you see anything you like within your community and you want to be a part of that change, let us know. We're here to help the community, not just Black Lives Matter. It's so much more bigger than that. It's our community matters first.
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice! No peace! Black lives
Matter!
No justice!
No peace!
What is my opinion on everything going on with the protesting and the things that are going on in America? I realistically think that it's a shame that we're even still having this discussion. It's a shame that we even still have to have this conversation, that we even have to still go out and protest these type of things, you know? I'm still out here fighting for the same things that my grandmother and her mother were fighting for, and mother before her, you know? It's a shame that we're almost 60 years since the civil rights movement, and we still don't have civil rights. I mean, it's humans asking for equality. It's not a political thing. It's not, you know, my life matters more than your life matters. It's a human lives equal human lives. And people need to understand that it's not an argument. It's not a discussion. It's not, if you aren't upset, you aren't paying attention. And if it's not affecting you, you really need to look into yourself and look into your family and, you know, understand why it doesn't affect you and why you should feel as though it should affect you, because it's affecting everyone. It's an everyone problem. It's not just a black people problem.
Good afternoon, everybody! We're gonna do a little chant. When I say black lives, you say matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. I didn't hear you. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
My family fully supports the Black Lives Matter organization I'm in. I Can Breathe and I Will Speak. I had to deal with an incident myself on one of the first protests when we went live. Somebody commented that knew my father and me, "Oh, I didn't know you had a black daughter." As my aunts and my cousins and my uncles on the black side of my family came up and they were like, "No, she's not black, but she has family and relationships that is black, and that's why she's out here. And this is why I'm out here. We have different races and ages of everybody in this organization, and we're trying to put a big impact on everybody, old, young, black, white, anybody. We just need, you know, we're just trying to show some love."
So I think this protest is great. LaShawn's done a great job so far not so far, she's done a great job, period, of doing these protests in a peaceful, positive way. We're here to support and encourage that and make sure everybody's safe, make sure everybody's staying positive, and making sure they're not getting interacted with anybody that wants to bring a negative vibe into this. Since meeting with LaShawn at the first protest, we've developed quite a working relationship together, and she's working with me on a new unit I'm forming called the Neighborhood Engagement Unit. The unit is to go into different neighborhoods that we believe are in need, find people in need, and offer them services from different community organizations that are working with us. And we have everybody from the HFM Prevention Council, Planned Parenthood, we have the Fulmont Community Services, a bunch of community organizations that have come together to offer with us, actually do things a little bit differently and go into these neighborhoods and seek out people who need services. instead of waiting for people who need them to see them. So LaShawn's been a huge positive aspect for the community already, and I look forward to continuing to work with her in the future. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning. We're at the cage groundbreaking ceremony for the improvements that are being brought to the cage. Very excited to see a lot of officials out. I feel like this is something that needs to happen more often. So by us coming out and meeting with city officials and showing them that we care about our community, I feel like that is critical to us as a Black community.
So today down here at the Gloversville Farmers Market with I Can Breathe and I Will Speak, we have back to school home packs. So it has like pencils, pens, markers, crayons, folders, notebooks, anything you might need for school, and also home supplies like deodorant, bars of soap, some snacks, a bunch of other things that you can use for like the homeschooling that we're going to be having. We also have voter registration information, we have census information. We also just found out that only 50% of the residents in Gloversville have only done the census. If you fill out your census, that's more money for the COVID relief, more money for school funding. It helps know the population of our town. And if we know the correct population, the state and government will know how much money they need to send to our town to help rebuild and help fix and everything. It's important for our organization to do things like this so these families know who we are, they know what we're trying to do, so that later for the upcoming events that they'll recognize our name and they'll remember that we helped that family out and that we helped their children and that we're good people and we're just trying to help out the community.
Why are you so emotional?
Because I just want everybody to know that what we're doing is good and that like even though we're enforcing like the Black Lives Matter things, that we're still helping out with other people in our community.
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Black lives
Matter!
Black lives
Matter!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Black lives
Matter!
Black lives
Matter!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Black lives
Matter!
Black lives
Matter!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Black lives Black lives
Matter!
My first racist encounter that I can remember in Fort Plain, I was on the bus going home, and at the time my grandfather was alive waiting for me, you know, like a good grandfather just waiting for me to get off the bus. While I'm on the bus, I don't even remember if they were boys, girls, I don't know, I just remember the comments they kept making. I had my hair out, and at the time it wasn't straight, it wasn't curly, it was just afro. And they kept touching it, they were like, why does your hair feel like this? Like, it feels like cotton. And I was like, I'm feeling my own hair. I'm like, it doesn't feel like cotton. Like, why are you saying that? And then they were like looking at my grandfather and they're like, why is your grandfather white? And I'm like, first grade, I'm not really answering anything. I'm just like, why are you asking? And at the time, like, kids are curious, so I wasn't really, you know, feeling away. I was only in first grade, but when I got off the bus, like, I just started like crying, and I felt like just so like upset, and I was like Papa, like, why did they keep saying those things to me? Like, why did they say like my hair felt like cotton? And I just remember him like picking me up and just like holding me. He was like, it's okay, like those kids are just like jealous, they don't know what they're talking about, like they weren't raised like with the right mentality or something like that. And that like one memory just like stuck with me throughout like my whole like high school career. And like I always like had that in the back of my mind, like they weren't raised right, they didn't have the right mentality, like they weren't taught how to like approach someone who isn't the same color as them and isn't the same as them. So it's like, can you really be mad at the kids, or are you like mad at the adults?
Me and Jalen have been dating for 3.5 years now, and I just had my first racial encounter by a man that me and him knew. It was his neighbor's friend, and he used to come over all the time and speak with Jalen's mom. And just recently I posted a picture as my profile picture, and it said, F racism, Black Lives Matter. And he commented on it and was like, all lives matter, and just started going off and was really, really rude. So other people began to comment back to him saying, you know, like, don't do this isn't the right person to talk to like that. And then I wake up in the morning to a message where he's calling me an effing, like the N-word loving C-U-N-T, like just vulgar message. It was a whole paragraph, and I was just dumbfounded because this was the man that came over and told my boyfriend that he loved him as a friend and would hit him up on Facebook, his mom on Facebook, and asked to come over and hang out with us. And now all of a sudden, I am an N-word lover, and so is everyone around me, and he was just so vulgar and rude, and I deleted him off my Facebook, and I actually ended up blocking him, where he made a new Facebook and tried to add my boyfriend and his mom, and they both deleted his friend request, obviously.
My family doesn't really mind, but kind of minds. When I first joined this organization, my mom was like, it's kind of just gonna end in a couple of months, and it hasn't, so I got the chance to prove her wrong, which is kind of cool. I'm out here to make my voice heard and make a change in my community, and my grandparents think that's a good idea, and they support me and support what I'm doing. My mom is starting to realize that it's more serious than she thought when I first joined the organization, that it's not just going to be something that's a couple of months and it's a phase. It's going to be something that's going to continue for hopefully years and years, and hopefully even when I'm gone, it'll still be going on for the community so things can change and be good and continue to be good.
So Ishan and I have been dating now for about 2 years, and at the beginning and still now, my mother has not agreed with it. She's come more to terms with it, and I think she's starting to accept it more, but she still doesn't really want that much to do with it. She always said she never had a problem with black people, that she liked black people, but she just never wanted it in the family. So when I started talking to Ishan and started bringing him home, she had a lot to say about it, and it was not friendly and not nice. And I ended up moving out of her house about 3 months into the relationship because of how rude she was being to me and to him.
George Floyd was a fucking criminal!
We in law enforcement have to explain the following fact. When you call 911, we don't care what color you are, we don't care your politics, we don't care your gender, and we don't care your religion. We go to help people. Even the same people who want to defund us or do an injury or take over our precincts and burn them, we still go. And if you're anyone, whether you're white, black, green, or blue, I don't care what color you are, when you call 911 because an ex-boyfriend's breaking into your apartment, or you see a beating on the street, or somebody is trying to cause an injury to somebody you love, you don't care what color the police officer is, you don't care what gender, you don't care what their politics are, and you don't care what their religion is. You want a police officer to come and help you. So we've got to get all these issues out on the table, we've got to address them. And a harsh reality is, police don't want things to escalate, they want things to go backwards. Last night there was an incident in Lafayette, Louisiana, where a dozen shots or more were fired at a man with a knife who tried to be tased by the police and it didn't stop him. They tried to surround him, it didn't stop him. He got to the door of a convenience store which had customers in it, and he was armed with a deadly weapon, a knife. Police tried tasing him, and then they shot him. They used deadly force to counter deadly force, a knife. Once he got in the store, they would have no control over him, and he could injure or kill innocent civilians. And if he's not listening to the police, he's certainly not going to listen to innocent civilians. So our mission in law enforcement is to educate the public in our training, educate the public in why we do what we do, our policies and procedures. And on the other side of it, there's got to be a message. We often hear about the conversation. I'm sure you know what the conversation is. I've heard journalists, politicians, police officers say they've had to have the conversation with their kids. And if you're a young black male and the police stop you, don't argue with them, don't fight with them, put your hands up and worry about it later on if you get arrested or a police grievance board. That's the conversation. But the second part of the conversation has got to be reinforced. When police say, put your hands up, drop what's in your hands, put your hands up, drop what's in your hands. The time to argue with the police is through the court system or the civil review boards. Not on the street at 2 in the morning and not running away from the police or struggling or fighting. That leads to no good outcome for anyone. It's not good for the police and it's not good for the individual resisting. And it doesn't matter what color they are, whether they're white, black, or any other color. If the police tell you to turn around, put your hands up, do what they tell you. You can argue with it later. The problem is, most of the incidents we have, it doesn't matter what color, have escalated from routine stops or routine calls out of control, not because the police elevated them in the first instance, it's because the person failed to comply and that escalated the situation. We have what's called a continuum of force, which if you're passive, we're passive. If you become verbally aggressive, the police become verbally aggressive. If you become physical, we can use as much force as necessary to take you into control. We can't use excessive force. But as the force rises, if you have a knife or gun or a threat to human lives, either the police or others, we can use deadly force because we've been given that authority under color of law to protect society and protect you and everyone else.
So good. I'm going to go over there with Mama and like please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight with you in the village of Mayfield. I was invited by LaShawn and her group that are here today, kind of sending a message of peaceful protest, which in our nation today, regardless of whatever side of the aisle that you may be on, whatever your beliefs are, the ability to peacefully assemble has been a God-given right and fought for many centuries. One thing I just want to say for people to get out, regardless of your cause or your case, I encourage you to get out and get involved. Stay off of social media ranting back and forth and put that to action. Put that to changing laws or bringing to light issues that are concerned. One thing that is of grave concern to me, and we're seeing it nationally across all 56 states, territories, tribal regions in a great country, is the fact that people are being pulled apart in many ways and pulled from one side to the other, whether you're left or right and your beliefs are this way or that way. When in essence, when you turn the TV off or you put your device down, the same people are eating together, hanging out together, going to birthday parties and breaking bread together. We're being divided, and we're being divided in many different ways, whether it's race, economical status, beliefs of worship, or whatever that may be. We need to really start to take ownership of our communities at a local level. If you are a mayor of a large city, you own all the good that you do, and you own all the bad that occurs as well. You can't say I did the good, but this national candidate or this national senator or congressman or president are responsible for the bad, and I just did this good. And the same goes the other way. If you are, having a tough time running your city or small village or community or state, you can't just blame everything on somebody else. You have to take ownership in yourself. And my message is to other elected officials that are out there. If you're a mayor of a city, town, village, any type of community that's out there that is led by your leadership, you own everything in that community. Whether it's the police force that reports to you, or the hospitals that are under your financial, observation and understanding. These things have to be dealt with at a local level. By doing that, you get a greater sense of community. You show very clearly that you're heavily involved and you're not just a 6 o'clock news type of elected leader. And you're right there, fixing the problems and celebrating the successes. So we as people have been, through tremendous turmoil as a nation. And we're going to continue to have many more, spats and disputes and division in some magnitude in the years to come. But how we deal with that and how quickly we resolve those things is going to make, America's history go forward to even better and greater times. So thank you all very much. God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Black Lives Matter!
The reason I joined is because people act like it's just certain areas where racism takes a part in people's lives. And it's not at all. It's everywhere. Every state, every country, everywhere. People hate because, don't want to say they hate because, no, they hate because it's how they're brought up. It's generational. It's literally what you're taught. Children don't wake up and hate. Children don't wake up and they say, oh no, I can't do this because, you're a black person and you're a white person, or you're this nation, you're this nationality, or you're this. Children don't wake up like that. That's taught.
At the end of the day, we're not going anywhere as an organization. So, if they don't accept that, then so be it. But, you can be a part of the change for your community. So the only thing that those people have to care about in the sense to elevate their minds away from racism is their community. So if you care about your community and you want to come together and you want to be a part of the community cleanups, be a part of helping kids get their school supplies, kids that can't afford it, be a part of helping mentor kids that don't have the structure and stability of their life. If you want to be a part of helping your community, then come out and be a part of kind of us. With that being said, you'll get a lot of views and takes on how we feel passionately about the things that we feel about, and that might change your opinion on the way you feel about racism in itself. So just care about your community, really.
I feel like most of the community supports what we're doing. I feel like the people who don't support it just don't want to see the change, because that's the only thing we're trying to bring in. We're trying to better the community, so if you don't support us, I don't see why.
Or don't understand us. Like, they see the Black Lives Matter and think, oh, that's the organization, they're anti-American, but we're just agreeing that Black Lives Matter and we're trying to help the community.
I would say, the first thing I could do to really make a difference is like starting with my niece and nephew, because they're still there, and just doing something that I wish was like done to me when I was younger, is having that honest ass open conversation about how people are and how people are fucked up, and they're gonna make fun of you and they're gonna try to tear you down and they're gonna just diminish your character, honestly, in that town. And just start with them, because they're the ones who are really gonna be going through it next, and coaching them almost how to deal with it, how to respond to people, how to not get yourself further in trouble with the cops. Like, it's sad to say, but that's something that we have to do. Like, I don't know if you have to, like, you ever had those conversations, but it's like, that's something that, like, we have to do. Like, I have to tell, like, my niece, like, you are mixed. Like, they are gonna treat you like a little mixed kid. Like, and it's easier for her because she has way farther, like, fairer skin than I do and long black hair. So it's like she doesn't have it as rough, but it's like, you gotta start with the kids, honestly. In 2020, no, I do not feel safe going anywhere. Being a woman of color and being black, no, I do. And being a woman and black, no.
Yes,
being a woman alone, no, I don't feel safe. But being a woman and being black, no, I do not.
What do we want? Justice!
know, I don't have to worry about, you know, walking down the street during the daytime, not alone. I don't have to worry about, you know, something's gonna happen. As a woman, you know, it's a little bit different. You know, I can't go for a jog at night, but like, you know, walking around, I don't ever have to think like, oh, I can't go in that neighborhood, or, you know, I'm worried about going here because of the color of my skin. I never, ever, not even once has that thought ever even come close to crossing my mind. So, you know, as a white person, yeah, I don't have to worry about that. And that's fucked up.
All right, how's it going, everyone? My name is Chris Town, co-chief of change for I Can Breathe and I Will Speak. Today we had our job fair. I just want to thank everyone who came out and applied. I also want to thank all the companies that were here, you know, because if we're here trying to do this, we will slowly change lives. You know, if we can change one, we will slowly start to change everyone's lives. You know? So again, thank you to everyone for coming out. This was our first event. We have another one today, 5 to 7. If you can make it, please do. If not, we will have more throughout the future, and you know, we will learn more and we will do better.
Which one of you are most likely to get killed first?
Oh, me, all day.
Definitely him.
All day, it's not even a question.
Not even, yeah.
I'm a man, first things first. I'm black, and I wear a silky. You think I'm kidding when I say that, but all jokes aside, like from the bottom of my heart, I feel as if me wearing my silky compared to me just dressing the way I am, like if I wear my silky with a black hood and my Timbs with my black champion joggers, as opposed to no silky, like this, just a normal persona, I'm guaranteeing you that the police are going to look at me differently than what they did when they see me here and the way I talk. I'm telling you right now, me. In general, you put me in, I go out to, take me to Texas right now. Take me to the most racist part of Alabama right now, and I'm just another black boy out there. I'm not, so you guys might know me here, but the people that don't know me, and I'm going out there, I'm just another boy. So, you can continue to know me and know who I am and know what I stand for and know that I'm intelligent, but those people don't know that. I'm more willing to die first, definitely.
Wow. That's a deep-ass question.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I don't know. I'll go first. Based on my own life, based on what has happened, I feel like I would be the first one to die out of the two of us. And that's just because I've already had family members who have died because of all the police stuff I've had. Just overall, I feel like I would be the one to go first. Just because I'm just another number. Like, that's just how to say it. I'm just another number. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Being with all the stuff going on with the police, I say me, because you see white ladies just getting killed, every day, every other day on on Facebook and stuff, on live or something like that.
Yeah. That's a question of the unknown, realistically.
Yeah, I guess it's just time will tell, honestly.
Question of who would be killed first, realistically. We both different.
There's different reasons.
Different reasons for everything.
Are you asking statistically by
No,
cops?
that's what he's saying. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. I'm a human. You're a human.
We could each make a bad choice and something could end up with us dead.
Mm-hmm.
life's a gamble. You never know if you're going to survive or not. It's just kind of a matter of time.
Breonna Taylor died in her sleep.
You never know. Anything could happen.
Literally.
Our next one will be Sunday at Mayfield.
I just don't understand. To the people who, were yelling at us at every demonstration and, made it a point to be so angry and upset about us just trying to make a better world for their future grandchild or, their child that they have now or anything. Just trying to have a equal judicial system for all of us. I mean, I just don't understand how anybody can turn on a news station in 2020 and not be outraged by basically the hunting season that they're having with minorities. They are literally killing us like animals in the street. And I can't even watch the news when I'm at home because it's just so upsetting. Like, another person just died 2 days ago. Like, people act like we shouldn't be out there. We shouldn't be upset about this. You're still killing us. You're still killing us.
If I can give my younger self some advice, it would be to educate myself and educate the people that I hang around about all the inequalities and the privileges and all that stuff, just to show that everybody doesn't have it the same. Some people just grow up tougher just based on the color of their skin, especially growing up around mostly white people at times, so they didn't really see it both ways.
My advice I would give to my younger self would be to stop being so self-critical and stop thinking that you need to be so much. You just need to be. In reality of all things, you just need to be yourself, be happy, and do things that are going to be good for you and good for your future. If I could talk to my older self, I would tell her to stop being so self-destructive and realize that things will be okay one day and you're going to make a change. You're going to make a change in your life and hopefully people around you's too.
If I could give my younger self advice, especially, I'm going to talk about school in this sense, definitely. It would be, hear me out, to punch the first person that called me a nigger. I feel as if because nobody got really in trouble based upon their actions, I feel as if I would have took the loss and gotten in trouble, but spread that awareness that it's real and it's everywhere and it's in our schools and it's in our life. So it'd be to punch the first person that called me a nigger, not try to be the bigger person and try to get the principals involved and try to get other teachers involved to handle it. None of that. Punch the first person that called me a nigger. That's my advice. Other than that, I think I'm good. I got a strong head on my shoulders. I know what I'm doing. I care about my community, which most people don't. I care about my future and everybody else's future in this community because I care. So that's about it.
The advice that I would give to my younger self would be, love yourself completely. Don't take anything that anybody says to you into consideration. It's not personal. Not everybody is going to understand your story. Not everybody's going to want to hear you out fully. But don't let it stop you. Don't let it hold you back from anything. Live for you completely.
If I were to give my younger self, some advice, it would to not listen and not care so much what my parents thought. Because I feel like if I started caring about what I wanted to do with my life sooner, I wouldn't have been wrapped up in the amount of dramatic stuff that I was wrapped up in, because I was so upset about hurting my mom's feelings or ruining her thought of what my future would look like because I was worried about her feelings. So I think I would just tell myself to worry about myself.
My advice to my younger self would be love yourself a lot more, because honestly, there's no one that will help you out in any situation other than yourself, because you really need to learn, like when you love yourself, you learn inner strength, you learn inner peace, and that'll help you go a long way. People will yell at you, they'll tell you things that you don't want to hear, but it's okay. As long as you love yourself and you love you know your worth, everything will be all right, I promise.
If I could give my 10-year-old self some advice, it would probably be to stop straightening your hair, love your curls, and stop accepting that uncomfortable feeling. You're uncomfortable for a reason. Tell them that you're uncomfortable and just don't accept it. Stop being quiet. Speak up when you don't feel right. Pretty much. That's what I would say.
If I could give my younger self some advice, I'd probably say, it's such a tough question because I can't say anything like, stand up for yourself. I never had a problem. I guess I would probably tell little me to stand up for everybody else.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Good morning, Albany, New York. Good morning. Good morning, Albany, New York. We are gathered here today to take part in celebrating Dr. King's 57th anniversary of the iconic I Have a Dream speech. For that, I apologize for my part in allowing your dream to remain asleep for so long. I, LaShawn Hawkins, am working every day to wake your dream all the way up. Your way. The right way. 57 years ago, a brilliant message was spoken on this very day. Dr. King brought us hope. He left no room for misunderstanding in his mission to bringing us together as a nation. Sadly, 57 years later, Black people remain oppressed. 57 years later, the Black person still fights for justice and equality. 57 years later, Black people are not free. 57 years later, Black people are still struggling to be heard. 57 years later, in northern New York, racism is alive and well. 57 years later, the Black man remains America's greatest threat and viewed in the eyes of many as invaluable. So I stand here today to bring awareness to the fight we still face today. Still asking for my race to matter, not care, not be my friend, not have me over for dinner. All I'm asking is for you to just count me as you count yourself, as human. I shouldn't have to feel any way for saying my life matters. But yet here I stand to tell you, me saying Black Lives Matter has ended friendships, families. Don't tell me this ain't a damn problem. Right. Enough is enough. Stand for something. I stand before our state capitol to say the check Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. went to D.C. to cash 57 years ago, bounced, and they never wrote us another one. So today, I come to collect cash. You can keep your checks. As our nation struggles with multiple careless acts of our law enforcement being inflicted upon our black people, with no prosecution, no convictions, barely even acknowledgement, no justice, no peace. I want all of you listening to me today to know America will remain in array as long as the black race is still considered expendable at the very hand of those who chose to protect and serve us. America, I ask that you wake up. Use your privilege in the right way. Speak up for what's right. Stop being selfish. Stop making this personal. We are being hunted in the street like deer. You can pretend this isn't affecting you. I will not continue to live in a world filled by hate. No justice, no peace. Now is the time to hold our government accountable for the wrongs of our nation. Yes. Woo. Now is the time that black lives will matter. Yeah. 2020 is the nightmare that has awakened the dream. We can't let this dream sleep any longer. We will not cower to your unmet promises. We want real change in real time that really considers black people as equals. You will be a fool to think by taking down some statues and putting a Band-Aid on a few laws will satisfy this movement. No, sir. Let me tell you now, you're in for a rude awakening. America will remain in dismay as long as you continue to ignore her cries. We are losing people in utter chaos over things that shouldn't even be questioned, let alone occur. But here I stand with a multitude of races, all different colors, from all walks of life, with different lifestyles, all together. But here we stand with one common goal: for justice and equality for all races. Embrace your brothers and sisters of different races, standing here with you on this battlefield. Some of them have been disowned by their own families to stand here with ours. No color will ever divide me from my people. That's right. Many people ask, How long will this go on? And I say to those people, as long as it takes to make America know my life matters.
As long as it takes.
And will be treated just as yours. They continue to ignore our pleas as a nation. We are lost. People not knowing in which direction to go. But Dr. King, I'm going straight ahead in the direction of true justice, true freedom, true equality for all my people. My 3 children will grow old, unworried with the troubles of today. My grandchildren will only read in a textbook their grandmother's fight. America, I am woke, and I will not be silenced. Until the dream of Dr. King is not only referenced as a dream, but a reality that we live in. I'm woke, America. Laws will change and new ones will be added. I'm woke, America, and I'm waking the world up with me.